Hello and welcome to the Nuclear Reactor, and I apologize for the videos being late this week. When I was usually recording videos, I was in the ER getting stitches put in my hands. So sorry about that the videos are going to be late this week. But I'm doing all 20 videos for the next 2 weeks at the same time to get them all done. So they'll be ready for y'all all completely for next week anyway. So I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow me on Twitter. And today we're reacting to What If Goku was sent to beerus' planet instead of Earth, Part 1 by Carthus Dojo.
Hello everyone, I'm Carthu, and welcome back to the dojo. The concept of Goku landing on other planets has been discussed ad nauseum with many What If channels. However, most of them fail to see how this would never really occur. Things like landing on Namek don't make sense because Namek has a high power level, according to even Frieza's records. This would mean that the inhabitants of Namek would seem far too strong to send a weak little baby like Goku to without presumably him getting killed. This was actually entirely part of Bardock and Guinea's plan when sending him away, even going...
I wanted to ask y'all really quick, as part of the Patreon I'm going to be setting up, which by the way, in the following next months, I'm going to have to cut back on videos because I'm going back to school and stuff, but I'm still planning on going ahead with the Patreon. It's just that videos here on the channel will be cut back some. But would y'all like me to react to the new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that, well, new to me because I haven't seen it yet. Would y'all like me to react to that on there? Once I get everything set up and start and getting all that going. And I'll also be reacting to an anime either twice. I'll have to figure out how I can fit the schedules up, but either twice or 3 times a week. Having new episodes come out on the channel on there. So, let me know what y'all want me to do.
Even going by the original continuity, where the Saiyans were the ones who sent the babies away and sent Goku away by proxy, it wasn't Bardock's intention to save him, well, they sent him to a planet he could conquer, that being Earth. So, all in all, you have a Saiyan baby being sent to a planet with a low power level. Now, many of you may be wondering, how does he get to Beerus then? And well, that's what we're discussing today. So, let's get into it. Video,
This be interesting.
Intro.
Yeah, this definitely ought to be interesting. I wonder how he's gonna portray it. I can't see any reason that Goku would end up there.
Like I've said in the past, I do like to keep these narrative-based what-ifs a bit more realistic and inside the series canon, without changing too many aspects that makes it a completely unrecognizable product, like sending Goku to Namek would. So, sending Goku to Earth makes sense because Earth has a low power level. So why does sending Goku to Beerus make sense? Beerus being stronger than basically anyone that we know, and same with Whis. Well, the thing is, they both have undetectable ki.
That's true.
God Ki is completely undetectable as far as we know by scouters, sensing, any sort of method that detects Ki is supposedly incapable of doing it to God Ki. So as Bardock is looking for a planet to send his son to, he comes across one that has an extremely low power level and seemingly is a well-flourished planet. Beerus' planet does have a diverse amount of at least plant life on it, potentially even animal life. I may even be forgetting some examples of animal life existing on his planet. So, sending Goku to that planet is not inconceivable, so I'm allowing it as a plot point that we could take on. But what happens once he lands there? Well, we do have some interesting date inconsistencies.
I just think Beerus would have destroyed him, but I mean, why Beerus would have no reason to keep him there, so, and it'd be too troublesome to send him away. So what do y'all think though?
And by inconsistencies I mean they were basically changed as far as we know, and that is the date of Goku's birth and the date of planet Vegeta's destruction. Originally both happened in the same age. Ages are like Dragon Ball years, that being age 737. But with the new canon, you either have two options. Leave Planet Vegeta's destruction stable, but Planet Vegeta's destruction was based off the premise that it matched up with Goku's birth, or keep Goku's birth static and change when Planet Vegeta was destroyed. The latter seems to be the better option, as expert timeline analyst for Dragon Ball, Therese, has said on Twitter, and I would highly recommend going to follow Therese on Twitter, at Therese27. And while you're there, you might as well follow me at Carthus Dojo. But enough shilling. This modern timeline would mean that Goku was sent off of Planet Vegeta either in 739 or 740. However, we're gonna go with 739 because 739 is only 2 years later than 737. 2 years later, matching up with Jocko, the manga that Minus takes place in, being 10 years before the events of Dragon Ball when Goku is 12. So that's the best lineup that we can get, especially since the 3-year line that Gine says is not in.
I've never read Minus, to be honest, so I'm kind of confused by all that, but I definitely need to go check out Dragon Ball Minus
in the movie. So figure Goku is about 2 years old when he's in his pod being sent away by his parents, 739. What else happens in 739 is pretty notable. That is the same year that Beerus is foretold by the Oracle Fish that he will meet his greatest rival, the Super Saiyan God. Now, some people are a little confused and think that Beerus' prophetic dream is the first time the idea of that rival being Super Saiyan God was introduced, but if we go by Dragon Ball Super Episode 3, Beerus even says that the seer, the Oracle Fish, had told him once the name, and he makes the Oracle Fish remember the name without him giving the name to him, even though Beerus already knew the name at this point as well. So when Goku is sent to Beerus' world in this timeline, Beerus is going to bed. So let's assume here that Goku lands on the planet, on Beerus' planet, before Beerus falls asleep. Seer would be freaking the hell out, as his prophecy seemingly came true 39 years too soon. Beerus wouldn't think too much of this small child before him in a pod, landing on his planet, crashing and ruining the soil. He'd be a little angry, actually. But once he realized that this child was a Saiyan, it would all add up to him. There's no way a Saiyan of any kind, of any world, could face him. Not unless they had training. Not unless they were groomed for the occasion. And so this is where our dear friend Whis comes in. Beerus will still fall asleep, but Beerus tells Whis, "You train this boy and wake me up in 39 years. The Oracle Fish has told me that it is 39 years I have to wait for my great rival, so I'll nap it. When I wake up, he better be ready, Whis. He better be ready to give me the challenge I've been looking for, that no one else has been able to give me. You have to remember, guys, it is illegal for the gods of destruction to fight each other. It's completely forbidden. That's why things like the arm wrestling contest are the only ways we have of knowing who's stronger than each other. And that's why in the manga it was such a big deal when all of them fought at the same time in that Battle Royale style area of the exhibition match for the Tournament of Power.
Interesting.
So Beerus...
I never knew that. I honestly, I didn't pay attention to too much of the small details of it, so that's interesting. The gods not being able to fight each other. I kind of vaguely remember that, so sorry if I'm not too good on the details. But as I said before, I love Dragon Ball and stuff, but I'm more of a Naruto anime nerd and stuff. But let's get on with this.
Does not have a rival outside of these gods of destruction, and even then we don't know how strong he is comparatively. In the manga at least, he's among the top 3, but we still don't know how he compares to Belmod even in that, because Belmod purposefully knocks himself out early. He even doesn't take healing at the end because he doesn't need it. He purposely pretended to be knocked out so he wouldn't have to bother fighting anymore. So all we could tell is that Kitella and Belmod are the two that are closest in power to Beerus, so they're the only two that could give him a good fight.
Okay. That's definitely spoilerish for me. Because it looks like the manga for that fight is different from the show was itself. Because, to be honest, I haven't read the manga of Dragon Ball Super. I've only watched the show, so I got a lot of homework ahead of me then.
Fight, as far as we know in the universes anyway, and with them being, gods of separate universes requiring Whis to get to, they weren't really easily accessible, and even if they were, it's illegal for them to fight. It's completely against the rules. So Beerus would be willing to wait for this challenge. Beerus was in the mood for a fight back in these days, so it does make sense that he would just go take a nap and let Whis train Goku. It's the only conceivable way Beerus can see this child, this Saiyan infant, even coming close to him. So what happens to Goku over this time? Well, we have to remember that Goku is pathetically weak compared to these guys, and that it is not even close. I mean to say, he's not a percentage of Whis. He's not 0.1%, 100th, 1,000th, or even 1,000,000th of Whis. He's nothing compared to these people. He would also have to be educated by Whis, though I don't find that too hard for Whis. I think Whis is pretty intelligent overall, and would be capable of teaching basic skills such as math, English.
Definitely. He would be able to teach him so much more because he was not starting from scratch. He was starting from Goku already have grown up into an adult and stuff as a stupid idiot. But here he could mold him and change him into what he wants him to be.
Of teaching basic skills such as math, English, etc. But you guys know where I come from, and that is the power aspect. What happens to Goku over 39 years of Whis training? Well, let's look what happens to a Vegeta, who trains with Whis for merely 6 months. Vegeta goes from less than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I'm excluding his rage here obviously, which is pretty inconsequential overall since it's not consistent, to stronger than Super Saiyan God Goku by the time Goku arrives on Whis' planet, which again is 6 months. For those who may be confused, Goku absorbs Super Saiyan God into his base. This is shown multiple times, as it's shown that he surpasses Super Saiyan God while in Super Saiyan, and when he's in his base form, he even is able to tank and destroy an attack that was Super Saiyan God tier. With this, we know Whis can make someone into a tremendously strong fighter in a ridiculously short amount of time, if only using that 6-month gap. Remember, the gap between Super Saiyan God and base Vegeta when he arrives on Whis' planet is far larger than the gap between Goku at the beginning of Dragon Ball and Goku Super Saiyan 3 at the end of Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z if you're talking about the anime adaptations. The gap is that drastic. It is unbelievably large. And because of this, I don't think it's an issue that Goku starts so weak. I think they overcome this fairly quickly. And I'm not saying he would do it in 6 months. Maybe he has to learn some basic things before that since he's only 2. But by the time he's 5, he should have more than enough time to get at least as strong as Goku, say, was at the end of Dragon Ball Z. And by the time 39 years has passed, and he's 41 and Beerus is just waking up, you can believe that Goku, by the way, who would not have Super Saiyan Blue because he doesn't know about Super Saiyan, but probably would have Super Saiyan God just by accessing God Ki. It wouldn't be a ritual Super Saiyan God per se, but it'd be like the ones we see nowadays, non-ritual. They just flood their bodies with God Ki and become a base Saiyan with God Ki, which is Super Saiyan God. He would have...
Can someone explain that to me? What does he mean, what we see nowadays, where they're flooded with God Ki? What is he talking about? Is that how Vegeta was able to assume God? I am so far behind on this, I'm sorry. Can someone fill me in, please? Thank you.
So much time to master Ultra Instinct because he's not fighting. Earth is doomed, by the way. Earth is long gone in the dust and doomed based on these events, but Goku, on the other hand, would actually have mastered Ultra Instinct. And I don't mean like the Dragon Ball Super idea of mastering Ultra Instinct. I mean true mastery, where he can activate it at will, and possibly even has it constantly activated by the time 39 years has passed.
Damn.
Remember, Goku with only a few years of training.
I mean, that does make sense, him being able to master that, because in like the 6 months or whatever they had. They had 39 freaking years. So Whis could have trained him to be just the ultimate juggernaut. Damn it. Sorry.
And the stimulus of a stressful condition was able to access Ultra Instinct, and Ultra Instinct better than Beerus could ever access. So imagine Goku with 39 years straight training, where he is actually focused on getting Ultra Instinct over everything else. They start out with the God Key stuff, but move swiftly into the Ultra Instinct training, as the God Key stuff shouldn't actually
That
take
would
that
be
long.
awesome.
Even if the God Key stuff took half of the time, that's nearly 20 years still left for Ultra Instinct to be perfected. And by the time Beerus wakes up, I hate to be the one to say it, but he does not win that fight with Goku. And I don't mean it's a close fight either. I do think Beerus would have to go all out, but Goku would just completely dominate.
Destroy
and there's
him.
no other way to go around it. Thanks for watching. Leave your
Aw.
opinions, counterpoints
That
in the
was
comments
cool,
down
but
below.
that was a little
Hit
too
subscribe
short.
and that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on the channel. Check out the Patreon and the t-shirt if you really want to support me. And don't forget to click those 2 videos above to go see some other great content on the channel. See ya!
Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed that. This episode will be coming up Tuesday today. So, and I'll have the next one coming up on Wednesday as per usual. So, 2 in a row. Sorry about them all being up late and everything. I apologize for that, but I was just in too much pain from having my whole palm slit open and everything. Yeah, that just wasn't fun. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and everything. And let me know what y'all want me to do with the Patreon. Because I've already got the new computer in. And I'll start working on that, getting it all figured out. But I need to know what y'all want me to react to on there. So let me know, please. Until next time, peace. I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. If you like my content, then like and subscribe, please. And follow me on Twitter for video updates. The link will be in the description below. And as always, stay nuclear.